We're live now.
Hey guys, can you hear me? We're having a problem with the audio.
Yeah, you guys are really low.
Can't hear you. I don't think it's this phone.
Yeah, you guys are really.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on here. I can't hear you on the live stream. I can only hear you on YouTube. I can't hear you on the live stream.
That's weird.
So let me figure out what's going on here.
Yeah, because we can hear you on both.
This is not good. So settings, audio. Here we go. It's on default. Speaker. Okay, how about now?
Hang on one second.
Nothing. Something's definitely going on here. Hang on. Radio? Green? All the volumes are up. How about now?
I can hear you. Can you hear us?
Okay. We're having a problem with the audio here.
Can you hear us?
Let me...
So it's just us. Where's some? Do we need to go to that? No? Hey, Phil, can you hear us?
All right, how about now?
I can hear you fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, I'm not hearing you guys either. There's something wrong with the audio.
Oh no, I can hear
Doesn't
you.
make any sense. I see David Johnson's here. Put a 1 in the chat if you guys can hear me. Someone said audio
Vera,
is good.
Vera, you can hear us?
They need to fix their audio.
Everybody's good.
Muted or something.
Media is good.
That's weird. I hear you just fine.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Hang on 1 second, guys. We're going to try to figure this out. We're having some kind of a audio problem.
There you are, finally.
Everyone in the chat says they can hear me fine. I'm
Cool.
not sure what's going on here. They can't hear us and we can't hear them. Give me a second. I need to call them.
Yeah, Philip, so he can
We're
hear
muted,
both.
so I can call them.
Cool.
Is this the
Yeah, I don't know what it is.
StreamYard?
Yes. Don't turn that on.
Yes, both.
So you guys are just stuck staring at us for a while until he gets the audio fixed.
That's all right. That's all right. We'll burn one in the meantime.
Yeah, there you go. Big Mike will take a hit for everybody. Yes.
We're on the phone with Sarah and Tim right now.
Wait, say again? Yeah. No, we can hear you. Yeah, no, it's not. Mike just went through everything. Our mic's not muted, nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to tell you. We can hear you just fine. I can't even put you on speaker because we're live.
It was just echo.
Tim said, thanks for coming, everybody. This is how we're going to have to do this. Do we need... Yeah, no, we can hear you just fine. Oh.
We're not having issues.
Who in the chat can fix the sound problem here? Why wouldn't Jeebus be able to hear us? Yes. Okay, bye. He has to make a phone call and he'll get right back. Everybody in the chat can hear Big Mike and I, though? Yes, no?
Y'all.
Okay. He thought maybe we were muted.
Maybe that was an acronym.
He thought maybe we were muted, but the chat wouldn't be able to hear us if we were muted, right?
Yeah. Yeah, see? It ain't us. I don't know what the problem
Yeah,
is. It's not us. It's not on our end. We're good over here.
Yeah, we can hear them.
Yeah, that sucks.
Oh, we were invited to their live stream, and
Yeah.
So hey, I'm Jess.
Yeah, I'm Mike. We're us versus them PGH.
If you hate the cops, we're who you want to come see.
Absolutely. Today we were going to talk about some civil rights violations, and Tim was going to talk about theirs, and I was going to talk about mine, and that's how the show was going to go. And this is what we ran into.
We have a civil rights lawsuit against police where we live for they really did some nasty things to him. So
Yeah, news anchors are live TV, right? Live TV, everything's fucked up on live TV. Yeah, that sucks.
The only thing is with our channel, if you don't care to hear foul language, we're from Pittsburgh, and
I'm always foul.
Yeah, there's
always
no filters. No filters. We're Steeler fans. You know, we have our own vocabulary here in Pittsburgh.
Yeah, that's right.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, guys, if you guys can hear me, nod your head.
Yep.
Okay, I can't hear you at all. I'm going to restart the stream, and hopefully our guests will rejoin us. That's the only thing I can think of, is to restart the phone and try it again. We'll give that a shot. Just hang tight, all right?
All right.
This is retarded. Let's see. I'm going to restart the whole phone and just...
We go out of this.
All right, I don't know if this fixed the problem or not, but can everyone hear me? Put a 1 in the chat if you can hear me. And let me try to bring our guests back. Oh, oops. Yeah. All right, let's try this. All right, can you guys hear me okay now?
Yeah. Can you hear us?
So say something.
Can you hear us?
There's something seriously wrong here. I'm not getting audio from you guys at all. Maybe if I'm gonna try switching devices. The video quality is a little poor on this other device, but we're gonna try it.
Okay.
Hi, Sarah. You look pretty.
Right.
Oh, that's right. She can't hear me.
This is a bummer. Let's try this. Just hang on a second. We're still live on this stream, don't you?
I'm not going to.
What I have to do is turn that device off. All right, let's try it. Watch out. Move that phone. All right. All right, what about now, guys? Still no audio.
Yeah.
Now,
No.
can you hear
Okay,
us?
here we go. Right on.
Yeah.
Yeah,
All
so
Yep.
evidently it's the other phone here that we have. I don't know what the problem is. It's a brand new phone.
And the crowd goes wild.
Yeah, right.
Finally.
Yeah,
We
good.
were about to start singing and tap dancing to entertain everybody.
Yeah, I was saying, gotta keep them busy.
I'm not good at
All
either.
right. We got some people in the chat that normally don't join in for my live streams, but they're a few good friends of mine here, so that's awesome. Hi, David, Nick, cool beans, guys. So sorry to keep everybody waiting in suspense.
It's okay. We were
I'm a caveman
entertaining.
when it comes to technology. Yeah, what did I miss?
Nothing.
No.
Really, we was just telling them that.
We're from Pittsburgh and we have bad mouths.
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Cool. All right, Sarah will be here in just a second.
Cool.
I'm sitting here talking to her the whole time, not realizing that you still
I'm
couldn't hear us.
I'm still in the chat on the other device or, on the stream. No, there it went.
That's too much shit you got going on.
Yeah, we're doing too much.
When we do our streams, I'll kind of glance over and catch the chat out of the corner of my eye, and I lose my whole train of thought.
They know they were in our last one.
Yeah. So yeah.
What was I talking about?
Yeah, it happens to me all the time.
You look
So
pretty, Sarah.
for everybody watching and everybody that will be watching, us versus them. Welcome to the stream, guys.
Thanks for having us.
Appreciate it.
This is a couple of folks that reached out to us because I guess the situation that they were going through at one time matched ours to a T. They were harassed and stalked by the same officers, same department. You know, it's like when you get that target on your back, it means it is what it is. And hopefully my moderators.
Uh-oh, we got some spam in the chat.
She got it.
Yeah, I see them. I got rid of them pretty quick there.
Yeah, you did.
So tell us about what happened with you guys and what got you guys started and with your channel and why the disdain for the police.
Well, for a long time, I was a drug addict. So I always had interactions with police, always. But at that time, rightfully so, I was always in it. I was always involved in shady, ridiculous shit. But anywho, though, I've been clean for probably the better part of 10 years now. And what happened was I to make a long story short, I kind of lost my mind one day. And the police ended up showing up at our house. And when the police got here, he thought he was coming to the house over a domestic violence situation. So when he comes, he's already jacked. You know, he's already thinking he's going to get to throw somebody around and hurt somebody over something. So right when he first gets here, he learns right off the bat immediately, no crime happened. We don't need you here.
He approached me. I was sitting on the curb and he said, you know, what's going on? And I told him nothing. We had a fight, a verbal altercation. And he even flat out said, well, I have no reason to be here then. And I said, no, you don't.
Yeah. So, long story short, let me back up a little bit. So, what happens is I'm thinking that she just left. I don't know that anybody's around. So at the time, I'm infuriated, and I'm off my meds, and I grabbed this razor blade, and I'm just fucking, you know, I'm losing. I'm going fucking crazy. So
you had a moment.
Yeah, it was a moment.
And we've been together a long time, and he has never done anything like that.
Yeah.
So that was like, I was like petrified, like that he was going to die or something. You know what I mean? I'd never seen him get that upset.
Yeah. But no one knew that this was going on. I thought everybody left. I had no idea. And then I got up because by this time I'm gushing blood. So I get up because I want to get a towel or something because I'm dripping blood all over the floor. And that's when I looked out the window and I saw the police outside. So I'm thinking, fuck, here we go with the police.
Yeah.
So I grab this towel, I wrap it around my arm, I open the door and I go outside. As soon as he sees me, he sees the towel around my arm and thinks I have a gun. So he's telling me right off the bat, show me your hands, motherfucker. You show me your hands and all this other shit. And he's reaching for all his shit. So, everything's fine. Everything's fine. Just, you know, I'm fucked up here. So he's going on and on and on and on and on. And all he wants to do is arrest me. He's looking for any reason in the world he can get to arrest me. He's not trying to de-escalate anything. He's not sitting there saying, okay, well, I know nothing's happened.
He's not there to help you.
So, yeah. So I'm going to go. And it wasn't like that. He got there. He wanted to arrest somebody because he came and he showed up.
He had to drive a block.
Yeah. So, he wants to take me to a psych hospital, which he tells her she has to do all this shit because he tells her if she doesn't go up to get these psych papers signed up
to get him 302'd.
To get me 302'd,
Mm-hmm.
then he was gonna arrest me and put me on like a psychiatric hold. Was that what it is?
Yeah, he told me if I did it, it would be for 3 days. If he did it, it would be for a month.
Yeah.
So he forced me to have to go. Yeah.
Right.
I didn't know. So I drove to a hospital a half an hour away from us because that's how far the nearest hospital is to get these papers. And here he even lied about that.
The neighbors, Nick.
He said
So were
it
you
was
guys married at the time?
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
this was just in May.
Yeah, this was just last May.
What he was trying to do, I think it's called a mental hygiene. He was trying to get you to do a mental hygiene on your husband because it's like always a next of kin that has to do that.
Yeah.
I've actually done that myself
that he could put him in.
Yeah, but now when he starts looking at all my information, he could see on his list all these interactions. Right, Nick? The neighbors called. They heard us fighting. All our windows and shit were open.
And we're again from Pittsburgh, and we got big mouths.
Yeah.
I'm Italian. He's Polish. There's a lot of
yeah. Not only that, I can't hear. I'm like 90% deaf. So when I'm talking, I'm naturally loud because I can't hear myself. So it always sounds like I'm screaming even when I'm not. So when I am screaming, everybody can hear. Mm-hmm. So it was a bad moment. It was a terrible moment. But then what ended up happening is, so she goes up to the hospital to get these 302s because the lesser of the evils was for her to have me taken for 3 days opposed to the police taking me for 30 days.
Which he lied to us about that anyway. They can't do that, but we didn't know that at the time.
Right. No clue.
No, and he told us it was a warrant. That I had to bring it down to him after I got the hospital to write it so he could come pick Mike up because he said it was called a 302 warrant.
Right.
So after
That's
I
insane.
got the paper, I'm sorry?
I said that is absolutely insane.
Yeah.
Like,
I had to drive it
here
down.
he is bleeding to death, and all he's worried about is, like,
making it.
wow.
Oh, well, after when
Wow.
he threw Mike around, when he went to
Oh,
handcuff
yeah.
him for no reason, he slammed him into the chair and into the siding of our house and broke my one lawn chair. Mike's bleeding everywhere. He didn't care. And then he turned around and looked at Mike and goes, "You don't have AIDS, do you?"
Oh my God.
I told Mike, I
And
said,
how
"You
many
should have been
cops were
like,
there? Can I ask?
I do."
At the time when he started putting his hands on your old man, how many cops were there? And
None,
when
just
did
him.
Just him.
the hands-on? The hands-on started when the other cop arrived. Am I wrong? I mean, because that's usually how it works. They
No,
usually
there
don't.
was by
wasn't on the
himself.
cop.
There's only 3 cops in our area. That's it.
Yeah,
Oh, he
and
was
there-
gung
there's
ho.
only one on duty at a time.
Mhm.
So it was only
Wow.
him. They don't wear body cams.
It's the good old boy, hillbilly. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean,
Not
this
that
guy
good too.
was, yeah, this guy was freaking out in court. But what happened was when he was at our house, it got to the point where I didn't want to hear him talking anymore, because the more he was talking, the more agitated he was making me. He wasn't helping the situation. He was just pissing me off even more, and it was making it worse.
Because he just kept threatening, telling me, "I better get in the car and go and get this." That's the way he was speaking to me. "You better get in the car. You better go do this, or I'm going to take him to jail." And I said, "Take him to jail for what?"
Yeah. So, finally I get up and I say, "Fuck this, I'm going in the house." So I get up and he says, "Whoa, what are you doing? Sit the fuck back down." And I said, "Why? Am I being detained?" And he stood up and he said, "Why, motherfucker, you want to be detained?" And I said, "No, of course not." why do you want to be detained? So, nevertheless, he handcuffs me. And I sat handcuffed for probably 25 minutes. He had these fucking cuffs on so tight.
Gushing blood this whole time,
Yeah,
mind you.
I'm totally gushing blood. And he wants me to sit down, and I don't want to sit down. But I'm not being combative. He had just put them cuffs on me, and when he did that, he spun me around, and he said, "Now sit the fuck back down," and he threw me while I was handcuffed. So he throws me back. I hit this chair, bang, my head hits off the wall, and he did it on a security camera that caught that.
He tried to get our security camera too. We'll tell you about that.
Yeah. So we have this footage, but the footage when he throws me, you can't see where my head hits the wall. That comes out of the camera. That pisses me off, but that comes out of the camera angle. Nevertheless, though, when she comes back with all this stuff she needs, I'm gone. I'm not waiting around for you to come back and arrest me. I'm fucking leaving. You come find me. So I leave. I don't want no parts of this guy. This man just beat the bejesus out. He just assaulted me. I don't want any parts of this guy.
Pulled his gun and his taser.
And he did it on camera. And when I told him, I didn't point like with my hand. I nodded with my head. And I said, "You just assaulted me on camera." And he turned around, he looked up at the camera, and he looked at me, and he said, "Good, I don't give a fuck." I said, "Oh."
And they don't. Yeah, they really don't. They mean it.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah,
there's no
I know.
consequences, and he knows that.
And you know what?
Yeah.
When his Title 18 lawsuit comes through and he's getting sentenced and I'm attached to his pension and I take his qualified immunity, I'm going to ask him again, "Do you give a fuck yet?"
That's
Do you
another
give a
thing.
fuck now?
So
'Cause
guys,
we're suing him in his individual capacity and his capacity under the color of law.
The best part
right.
of this whole story, when he comes back to get me, I'm gone. I'm not there. So no one can arrest me this night.
Or take him to the hospital.
Yeah. So I disappear. I come back in a very, very early morning. Now, I don't know anything. I don't know anything that's going on outside of this 302 scenario. But I can see these guys riding around the house constantly. So they never catch me. I don't ever leave. But at the time, I was working through the night, and I would have to get up and leave for work at like 3 a.m. So when I'd be coming home, it was like early morning, and it would be, a different officer shift. So I'm coming home. I'm about a block away from home. I see the cop car out of the corner of my eye. He sees me, flips his lights on, blows his red light, pulls me over, tells me I have a warrant.
Yeah.
So I said, "A warrant? A warrant for what?" And he said, "Domestic violence." And I said, "What? What the fuck? What?" So this total piece of shit, he wrote this false narrative to secure this warrant to be able to come and arrest me because he assaulted me on my camera. So now there has to be a way to justify this. So what does he do? He charges me with a crime, thinking that that's gonna fix this from his end, which didn't. It only got worse for him from there.
Well, I get a phone call. Mike, they have him pulled over a couple blocks over, and he calls me and tells me what they're doing to him. And I said, what? So I actually walked over to where he was because I knew I had to get the car from him. And this cop standing there. And I was like, I lost my temper. I'm sorry. But I said, can you not fucking read? I said, he had a mental health crisis. He's supposed to be going to the hospital, not going to jail. I said, let me see this warrant. He goes, I don't have to. I said, get me your sergeant. He goes, no. I said, fuck you.
Yeah, no.
I called him every name you could possibly think of. And Mike looks at me and he goes, Jess, before he arrests you for disorderly conduct, he's like, can you just take a breath? Because I need you out here to figure this out.
I know they're going to book her with disorderly. That's their go-to. That's their most arrestable. I can't get you on anything else. I'll get you on domestic violence.
They call the disorderly conduct the
Or
asshole charge.
obstruction of official business.
Yes.
Obstruction of justice.
Yeah, but disorderly is the way the cops phrase it to themselves is the asshole charge. If they think you're an asshole, they slap you with disorderly conduct.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh,
Especially because when they, type my name in, they're David or whatever, whatever background thing that they use. When they put me in that, a whole bunch of shit comes up. So.
Oh yeah, and they get excited about it. Like, I mean, it's like
look at the dates of it though.
Yeah, they don't look at none of these dates, and most of this stuff wasn't even things I was charged with. It was just an interaction I had with them that ended up on my background check. So,
well, real quick, if any of you don't know, if a cop has any contact with you and they try to charge you, even if the charges are dropped, it doesn't come off your record, off your background check, unless you pay to have it expunged. And it also will not say that you weren't charged with anything, that the case, went away, that you didn't do these things, nothing. It makes it look like you did these things. These are on your record.
Yeah.
Just remember that.
Yeah, right. You got to pay to get them taken. It doesn't say this person was wrongfully accused.
Yep.
It doesn't say
not
these
guilty.
Charges were dropped. It doesn't say any of that. It says
this is what you were charged with.
So when they run me, it's almost like they look at all this stuff and they think, okay, based on all this information, what can I charge him with that's going to stick? What is more plausible? They know that they can't get me for like murder or anything like that. They know I'm not a killer, but they know I'm kind of fucked up. So they can base things just off of that, just off of what they've read about me and.
But one thing too that fill in, the cop that was here when I gave him the 302 warrant and it came back to the house for him to take Mike to the hospital, he had to call in backup. That's when another cop came in. Well, he had a call from a whole different precinct because they don't have any other cops on duty in our town. So the cop he called to come down here is the cop we have another lawsuit against.
Yeah.
Well, here that cop was sending this cop that just assaulted Mike all Mike's tweets and stuff from his Twitter post and all this stuff. And they don't have work phones either. They use personal phones. So we had our attorney tell them he's confiscating their personal phones. So I hope to God they have some horrible, horrible stuff on there because it's all coming out.
Yeah. And I mean,
they have time to get rid of that stuff, though. It's like the CPS giving somebody a 24-hour notice before they come check to see if the kids are okay at that house. That gives them a day to like pay somebody to come clean their pigsty and put food in their fridge. And we had CPS cleaning on us a lot of the kids. My dad was horrible.
Yeah, right. Yeah. So
always had a chance to cover everything up before they showed up.
And I know the other night on your all's, we kind of stopped by on the stream that you guys did, and you were talking about how 52% of people do not trust the police.
Yeah.
It blows my mind, but it's the truth. Because you risk your life calling for them to come and help, knowing, like you said, you don't know what's going to happen. You don't know if you're going to get the good cop that actually cares about the community and the people in it that he's paid to serve and protect, or if you're going to get Joe Schmo that just freaking pumped iron a half hour before his shift and is just roid raged out, ready to bust.
Or you get the one that was beat up in high school his whole life, so he decided to become a cop so he can bully people.
A lot of them guys, exactly. They become cops because they had a shitty childhood or whatever, and they want to take it back. Give it back.
And they're not
all bad. I mean, I know
that happens
that are cops.
Yeah, it definitely
back
does.
each other up. Even if they're a good person, they're going to back up their buddy who's not. And that, in our opinion, makes you guilty by association.
Yeah.
Just
exactly. That's why when people say, there are good cops, no, there's not, because if they were a good cop, they would take care and turn in the ones that are doing all the illegal shit and hurting people.
Yeah.
And they don't.
Yeah.
And at the same time, I agree
those
with
are the
that.
ones that
I
get
just think
fired
that,
and have to get new careers.
Put in their shoes, though, if you were, say, if you're in a gang and one of your gang members is doing something that the leader of their gang, he's going to cut his throat for doing it. You're not exactly going to go tell the leader of the gang on the guy that you hang tough with every day, because you know what's going to happen to him. And that's the problem. They know that if they're going to ruin this guy's life, they're going to his family, because he's got a job and now his family's going to be without. He don't want to be that guy. You know what I mean? It's like to them, it's like snitching. They'll take you to jail for every little thing they catch you doing. But when it comes to amongst themselves, they got this little code of dishonor where, and that automatically, like you said, that automatically makes them a bad person. So what they're signing up for ultimately is bad to the core. And I don't think a lot of them see it that way when they first sign up. It takes a while for it to grow on them. And then one day they wake up like, damn, I'm a piece of shit because look what I've been letting this guy do right in front of me.
Yeah.
And you have to have something wrong up here to want to be a police officer. You really do. Really, I mean, you must really
knowing
like
what you should know about policing in America. Yes, you really do.
Yeah. And that's what we were saying too. I was saying that if you don't call the police for help anymore. You call the police when you want somebody to get hurt. If I got a problem with my neighbor's getting on my fucking nerves about something, I'm just going to call the police and say she's being suspicious, and I'm going to watch them pull up and beat the dog shit out of her.
Like homeboy calling the cops on the old man on video. He called the cops on the old man for the purpose of, hurting the guy. Like it was like, oh, you're going to go to jail. I'm calling the guy like.
Yeah. And then like I was saying too, when you call the cops, there's a 50-50 chance you're going to die. There's a 50-50 chance you're going to die.
Yeah.
That's scary.
I agree with you on that 100%.
Scary.
Listen, I called the cops about 4 years ago because my daughter was overdosing on drugs, right? I didn't call the cops. I called the EMS because when she said God told her to kill us, right? So she had a knife. I said that, and the cops show up. They want all of our IDs. Okay. They take me to jail on a warrant that was dead. It had been dead for 7 freaking days. I sat there in the jail all weekend until Monday. That Monday, my mom called and told them, hey, get her out. That warrant was squad.
Oh.
We've all got stories, man. Boy, oh boy, I can tell you so many stories. Wow.
True.
Just
and so after your initial incident, was there any kind of harassment? Did they just keep on you all the time? Like every time you see them, they just follow you and just mess with you?
They threw him in jail in solitary confinement. The cop told the jail that he was mentally not right. They stuck him in solitary confinement. It was 23-1, 23 hours in the room, 1 hour out a day for 12 days. He lost his job. I called the attorney general. I called the DA's office. I called anybody and everybody. So by the time we got to his hearing at the magistrate's office, and I sat in front of that DA, the charges were dropped. She apologized to me because this cop actually showed his ass in front of her and some state troopers. He was swearing at me, and I said, "Don't give me directives, motherfucker." I said, "I didn't do anything to you." And the state the state patrol told him to go stand in the hall, and he goes, "You can't make me." I said, "If I would say that to your motherfucking asses, I'd be in handcuffs sitting over there in the room waiting for the fucking magistrate to take me away." I said, "But this guy can do this." But
a jerk.
The DA said to me, she told me to go to the detectives, the county detectives, and file charges on this motherfucker. So
ultimately, that's what we did.
That's where we are now.
That's what got us into all this. You know, like I remember, I tried telling my dad, this cop fucking set me up. But because I have had so many interactions with police, he was like, "Please don't do that. The police don't set people up. They're
Yeah.
That's why we got a cop riding around with freaking 20 grams of meth and 8 grams of
learn your fucking lesson. Kaboom.
in his pocket.
Not to mention,
Hey, I got a question for you.
Sitting in solitary confinement.
No. And
I'm losing my fucking mind.
Yep. He lost his job.
Mike, I got a question for you.
Oh.
So, what do you think of if you find out that there's this cop, right? He's had questionable encounters with citizens. They've had complaints, and then next thing you know, this cop's got his own little domestic thing going on. Next thing you know, they find out that he's got 20 grams of meth and 8 grams of fentanyl on him. Now, this is the guy that's ordering searches on people's cars where they're pulling people over for turn signals, stop signs, little shit that the BMV can handle your ticket. But they're using these as pretext stops, and then they're searching their cars and they're finding meth and fentanyl. Now you got a cop carrying all this shit around on him. That's way more than what he's going to be using if he uses. So we know he's not using. I mean, I'm sure. Yeah. I can look at the guy and tell. I know I've seen enough meth heads around. It's an area for that shit. And he wasn't on nothing, man. He was carrying it around though. So what do you think he was going to do with that? What do you think he was doing? I mean, you think he's not setting somebody up?
Yep.
Yeah, because they get them bonuses for doing that. They get bonuses for drug busts
and DUI arrests.
There's a guy in the area that came forward and said, "This is the guy that they've been bouncing. They've been bouncing this one cat back and forth from rehab to jail, And all of a sudden, he gets violated from rehab for some kind of terroristic threats. I guess he made a comment and someone pinned him for it, sent him back to jail. Right now, he hears about this thing with this cop. Right. He's like, that's exactly how much shit they busted me with. And they didn't turn it in or something along those lines. But it made it very obvious that that's where that cop got the drugs from, you know?
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, this guy's getting bounced back to jail, he's making terrorist threats all of a sudden. And we don't know the story.
You know, one pattern we see in all these videos we watch on here and everything else is the people that have, mental health issues get it the worst from these fuckers. You know, there's so much crime out there that needs solved and people things that need done and investigations and stuff. And instead,
because they know that his word's going to be incredible and their lies are going to fly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes. We've got a police report and a body camera video that do not match. We've got a cop saying she grabbed him by the arm. That's obstruction. We're going to call that obstruction. Right. Then you got the dope dealing sergeant on camera saying, since she don't want to cooperate, we'll get her ass for obstruction. She can go to jail too. Meanwhile, he sends another one of his cops over. I think it was another sergeant, but his name was Fouch. I'm gonna put it out there. He sends this Fouch guy over there because the other two cops say, "Oh, we don't want to talk to her. She hates us," because they're the ones that just ripped her boyfriend out of the car and slammed him on the ground. And it was a chaotic moment. And I made some mistakes, but I didn't deserve that. I don't think. Anyway. He's got the other cops at the cruiser where she's cuffed up in the car, hysterical, trying to get her to tell them my information, saying, "You can go home if you just tell us what we want to hear."
Yeah.
Already formulating a charge to charge her with if she doesn't, and knowing what they're going to call it and making up a lie as to how they're going to call it that. Then you go and watch the video. She doesn't grab him by the arm, so then he's forced to put on the police report that she grabbed me by the legs because, first of all, my legs were the first thing to exit the vehicle. It's clear on camera. You can see it. So this guy blatantly lied, and his chief knows he lied, right? Not only did he get is he a star? What is he? A patrolman
I
still,
think
right?
he's still patrol.
But I'm saying this guy, he's a liar. But the chief knows it.
Yep.
Other people know it. Look, the whole country basically knows it because I put the video out there and it's got like, oh man, it's got views. So why is this dude still in uniform? That answers the big question right there. It's like, no matter what they do, the other cops are going to cover for them. Yeah. That's where the problem lies. That's what we need to change because, like I said, I think that there are good people in uniform, but they're bad by nature because they're in uniform. Yeah. They're not going to rat their buddies out, and we need more cops that are willing to do that.
But another issue is, though, even they work with the ones not in uniforms, the DAs, the magistrates, the judges, they're all in on it together. They're all one big group. So, it does. You were guilty until proven innocent.
Money.
Point blank.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's a fact.
I say that all the time.
This reaches a personal level because a person's past is their past for a reason.
Exactly.
Who cares if that mile-long rap sheet that you had way back when? You're a changed person. Nobody knows the struggle that you went through to get to where you are today. Yeah. They couldn't walk a day. They couldn't walk a day or a mile in your shoes. And they're sending these kids to school to be a police officer so that they can get their little revenge on the people that bullied them. And when there is an actual emergency situation, they don't know what to do. They only know what to do when it comes to roughing somebody up or apprehending someone.
Let me tell you where that came from, guys, okay? There's a video on YouTube now with a cop telling her to shut up, okay? She tries to apologize to him like 3 times because she's really like, now at this point, he's looking for an excuse to try to arrest us, and she knows it, and she's panicking, like trying to let him know she's sorry. She didn't mean to do that. Like, he's telling her to shut up while she's trying to apologize, and that gives him more right to say that she kept talking when I told her to shut up. Like, I don't think an apology counts, really, but all right. So 3 times he says she obstructed him for apologizing after he told her to shut up the first time. They throw her in cuffs. She spends a half an hour in cuffs. She's got extremely high blood pressure, man. I mean, this girl, she now has neuropathy from the handcuffs, and we've got medical documentation for that. For Pam, I just want you to know that's going to be listed in the lawsuit, sweetheart. I'm not going to give all my hand here, but I do want these people to know that they're going to be held accountable for this shit. And I want them to get rid of that asshole, Akers, because he's a liar. They should be on a Brady's list at the least. Okay, so she gets out of the car. She's relieved because they're uncuffing her. At this moment, all the blood rushes back to her head. She's like, and she faints. The cop that just ordered her to get in cuffs and get in the back of a car made her think she was going to go to jail for this, right? And mind you, we don't have the money to get her out. I don't know what the hell's going to happen if she goes to jail. So I'm telling the cops anything I can. I'm talking to them like they're my friend. The captain showed up as the supervisor, and he sat there and cops-plained to me. It's like he just wanted me to agree with him that what the Goonies of his did was the right thing, and then he was going to let her go. As long as I agreed with him, they would let my girlfriend out of the back of that car. Otherwise, they were basically insinuating that they were going to take her to jail because she was, quote, irate and talking over top and getting all crazy. First of all, she was very calm in that situation. She just happened to talk while he was talking and say something that he didn't want to hear.
He was.
Long story short, the guy, as soon as she faints, he flips his shit. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. So then I'm over there, telling them just to stay the fuck away from her because at this point, she's not under arrest. She's not being detained. They have no right to fucking touch her. This is my fiance that you just kidnapped in front of me, So I'm like hovering over it. They're calling an ambulance. They make her talk to the ambulance, all this shit. And because all that happened, I believe that there would have to be an incident report. Therefore, the body camera footage would be available, right? They're telling us that this entire incident, the body camera footage is not available. Matter of fact, we had a friend of ours, Terry Nip from Ironton. He's the Ironton Auditor on YouTube. Check out his channel. He supposedly talked to Pam Wagner, the chief, and she explained to him that the reason why that body camera footage is unavailable is because they changed companies that provide the body cameras, Therefore, all their
Bullshit.
data back. So what? So it happened to be around the time they changed companies. Now, I'm not saying that Pam said this. I'm just saying the Ironton auditor said that she said this. Now, and I don't know the man to be a liar, so we want to know why can't we get that body cam? I'm sure a couple other people have requested it.
Mhm.
So
what
they told us.
How did your complaint
cases
go?
around that time?
I know the
ever
prosecuting
able to
attorney
file your
has
complaint?
access. If it had something on it that would prove us criminals and prove them innocent, it would be available. I know that the prosecuting attorney, Brigham Anderson, would have this body camera footage on a disc sitting on their desk, on the judge, whatever, if it had incriminating evidence on it.
Yep.
Let me just say one thing. These cops all need to watch out because drug addicts are some of the smartest motherfuckers on the face of this earth. We could invent a cure for cancer. You have never met people that are smarter than us. So the police don't know who they're messing with.
We just got sober.
Right.
Well, we get sober. We're good to go.
Right. Now that we're sober, you're really in trouble.
Right. And like I said, addiction, it does not discriminate. It touches every walk of life.
Exactly.
Sure does.
The ones that unfortunately don't have the money to defend themselves are the ones being targeted. It's not a race issue.
Yes.
It has nothing more to do than them targeting people that they know can't afford to defend themselves.
Right.
Which is why you get to that point, like, you know what? I've had enough.
Yeah.
So now here we are
Yes.
reaching out, communicate with people, and learn that there are ways to do it yourself. You don't have to go and ask the public pretender to defend you when you can do it yourself. And there is a lot of work, and there's a lot of information, and there are a lot of steps involved.
And there's a lot of people out there that are willing to
channel,
help you with your paperwork and help you figure out step by step what to do about it.
Please go check out their channel, guys, if you have not yet. Please go check them out. I'm very much looking forward to the future and it's possible. Like, I've been kicked around enough. I don't know about you guys, but I don't go out of my way to hurt others.
No.
I treat people how I want to be treated. I've struggled. I'm not perfect. I've fucked up. I fuck up daily, but I'm human. And I have genuine love for people. And it kills me to know that these people are getting away with literal murder. They're murdering people and getting away with it. So petition for qualified immunity to end. That will nip everything else in the bud. The whole get rid of Terry v. Ohio. If they get rid of qualified immunity, they're going to think twice before they go making up some lie to rip somebody from their family.
They need to be held accountable.
Yeah, in your face, Chili. Qualified immunity, not Terry versus Ohio.
Correct.
Terry versus Ohio comes number 2.
Right.
God damn it.
And the
that's going to piss that dude off so bad.
But if you go to www.aaqi.org, that's Americans Against Qualified Immunity. So you can go there.
They'll actually send you stickers for your car, everything.
Yeah.
And you can sign a petition with them. They're a great organization.
Yeah. So it's worth checking out. They send you a bunch of cool little stickers for your car and shit about being against qualified immunity, and they have Lady Liberty, and they're good. They have a little newsletter, really good cause. Head on over, check them out, sign the petition.
Hey, I got a comment here that I want to put up, and I just want to throw this out there. We were talking about Spoljaric, and this is this is a guy who lives in Ironton that's commenting. I know this fellow. He gave me a heads up about some very disturbing things that were being talked about amongst these cops that we're talking about. And if it's true what he told me, then it's worse than people imagine. And just so everybody knows, I'm not suicidal. I've been to a psych ward for suicidal tendencies, but I'll tell you why I did that. Because I was an opioid addict, and I
Got
was at my
you.
wit's end, and I wanted off that shit. And the only way that they would lock me up for at least 21 days was for me to tell them that I was thinking about taking my life, which wasn't even true at the time. I just wanted to get
So
away from
sad. That's how you
everything
have to
that
go
was
to get
tempting
help.
me. Because when I tried to quit, I had people calling
Yes.
me. It was like the devil was literally working through people that knew that I was trying to quit. And he was like on me, "Hey, I got some Percocets to get rid of. You want any? I'll get rid of them to you super cheap." And I'm thinking, leave me alone. And I told him, I quit, man. I quit. Just, dude, it's been 3 days. I'm feeling like shit. I'm trying to quit. They called me 4 hours later. "So, hey, did anybody ever ask you about any Percocets?" I'm like, what the fuck, Satan? God, please get this shit off me, man. Like,
Yeah.
the thing I knew to do was to tell them I wanted to kill myself. So put me somewhere where I can't. And I
Yeah.
did good, man, for a long time, and I'm still on it. So
Yeah.
I drink a little beer, I smoke a little bud.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
That's
It's psychedelic experiences,
yeah.
but other than that,
I
you
smoke
can't get
cigarettes
meth
and drink
around
Diet
me. Any of
Pepsi.
the friends that know us know that we care about the friends that we have that we know are on inactive addiction, but we don't go around them for
Yeah.
You
personal reasons.
can't. Right.
If you
You
it's
can't. You
like an
have to
AA
go
thing.
first.
Right.
You got to change the person, the places, and the things. All three of those things have to go, but you have to change, or you can't.
Yes.
It's
Yeah.
impossible.
Yeah.
No,
It's
you're
a demon
100%
that you
right.
will not get off your back. Not with
Yeah.
the same people, same places, and the same things.
Yeah. True.
That's what I want to say this too. They always say when you quit drugs and you go back to using them, right? You don't go back to where you were when you left off. You go back to where you would have been if you never would have quit. So all your friends that are doing it, they've already graduated from pills to needles, or from some of them are dead, some of them are really bad, and they're just banging all kinds of dope every day, all day. I never used needles, but I mean, as far as I'm concerned, I was just as bad of a junkie as the people that were. You know,
Mhm.
A junkie's
I
a
would,
junkie, a junkie.
Yeah, I'm
I
the
popped
same.
mad
I
pills,
didn't.
man. Let me tell you,
Yeah.
I functioned
Exactly.
perfectly normal. And the cops know this. They know that I'm an ex-pill head, and they know that I've been busted for trafficking because I sold my pills and all this stuff. They know these things, right? But I'm pretty sure that they know enough people that know us to know that we've been on the, since I've met her, she's been clean. Since she met me, I've been clean. And that's what, 6 years
It's
now.
us.
She's been clean for a little over 10 years. I've been clean for
Right.
like 8 as far as pills go and stuff. I won't touch the first pill
Yeah.
that's, I won't even let them prescribe them to me.
Yeah.
So,
I'm the same way.
but
I
if
know
you've got
too.
that on your record, that you're labeled,
Me
and that's
too.
the problem. People change.
Yeah.
Times they are changing. Now we're changing things just by what we're doing right now.
Yep.
And
Yeah.
people, it's
Exactly.
like they
I
don't give
agree.
you the right to better yourself. They want you to stay a piece of shit so they can continue to. They want to put their boot on your neck and keep you in that mud
They
hole,
make money
because
off of you that way.
God forbid you get a good
Yes.
job. God forbid you start working for yourself or doing whatever, making money, and then you can afford a good lawyer and you can drive a better car, so they can't cherry pick you. And then it sounds
It's the
crazy, but
government's
it's the truth.
fault
It's
too,
how they
though, that
do.
so many people got addicted to pills. I mean, big pharma
Oh
and the
yeah,
government,
Yeah.
they
People are
manufactured
suing them for
oxy
this.
and told
People
everybody
are
that it was
suing.
not addictive when it first came out. So these doctors were pushing it on everybody and
Exactly.
anybody, and wonder why people got addicted to it.
Yeah.
And it's our fault for
They
getting
made
addicted, not the
83 cents a
doctors.
pill.
Yeah.
The doctors made 83 cents a pill for oxycodone, everyone they prescribed. It's nuts.
that's
Wow.
crazy.
A pill that you can take out on the street and sell for $40 to $80.
Yeah.
That's
It's nuts.
crazy.
Yeah.
And then that's why so many people turned to heroin, because people couldn't afford the pills. So now you created the heroin epidemic as well. But it's our fault. It's our fault.
No.
Somebody just messaged me earlier and said, "I'd like to know
And in Lawrence
who's
County
bringing on."
this
I
week,
think
there
it
was
was
4
actually
deaths.
you. So yeah,
I didn't
that's
hear
what I
you,
was going
Tim.
to say.
What'd you say?
What?
I didn't hear you.
I was going to say what she just
The
said.
4
So
deaths. There was 4 deaths. 4 deaths in Lawrence County over fentanyl just this past week. And they were in
Oh,
20s
wow.
and 30s. That's just one funeral home. The guy told me that other funeral homes have, more. So that was just one. I
and they're
don't
not
know why they're
investigating these
not
accidental
investigating
overdoses.
it though.
Yeah.
Everybody wants to know why they're not investigating.
Wow.
I'll be right back, guys.
Because the cops are selling it.
That anybody that could be a problem, or if there's a person that may know something or does know something about a police officer, how easy do you think it is for them to make that person disappear?
Oh yeah, for the police, absolutely. Yeah,
And
that's what I was
scary.
saying. Yeah, that's what I was saying.
How many people did they find dead in cars past summer?
And
just over the past few months, yeah.
And that's everywhere.
What she was talking about, it was in a week.
Yeah.
You're saying in a week, and there was 4, and were they accidental overdoses? Were they just marked off as? See, why aren't there investigations launched on these things? Because we know of at least 2 incidences where things didn't add up right, and there were factors involved that should have launched an investigation immediately. And we confirmed that the investigator that was over top of the case knew about these things, and he giggled on the phone with Sarah when she brought people that were with him and the things that they took and what happened. And this is someone close to us, so we're digging. We're trying to find out what happened to this guy, man. We were taking care of him, trying to keep him alive, and here he is dead. You know.
Wow.
We want to know what happened to him.
Like,
yeah.
Y'all, this Kristen, I'm sure you can relate. Well, I mean, you guys too, but the mother that is struggling with addiction, I'm sure at times her children may have been the only thing at one point that kept her sober or kept her pushing or at least kept her afloat with some, to push a little bit forward, to, just to try to fight. But man, it still gets me in the feels when I sit and think how easy it is for some people to just look down their nose at you because, and these are people that they were doing the same thing, if not worse. They were just able to hide it better because they have the money to keep it hidden. Right?
Yeah. Well, see, that's what I was saying too. You'll never ever be judged for all the good you do in your life. You'll never be judged for all the good you do. You're judged by your last worst act. The last thing you did that was the worst thing you did is what you're judged on. Nothing else. And that's it.
Yep. But I do encourage people, and I will tell you guys, if we can help in any way, reach out to us. If nothing more, we can be an ear to listen or point you in the right direction.
Yeah.
Us versus them, totally I'm sure they feel the same. Psychic soul senses, same with you. Man, I can't tell you the people that we've lost over the last few years. And some of them, as abrupt as it happened, and, it wasn't a surprise. There were others that were extremely surprised to find out that something happened. But until these officers and people that sit in a position of power are held accountable for their misdeeds, it's going to get worse. You think it's bad now, it's going to get far, far worse. So I urge people, file those grievances, file those complaints. That's your right to do so. And
if you need help filling them out, Mike and I are here to help. I know Tim and Sarah will help.
That's another thing I wanted to say to everybody.
Good. That's what I was wanting to know.
We plan on doing a live stream on their channel as well. We're going to let them pick a day at a time and try to work it out. But I think we're going to go over that, right? How to do that for the people that are our viewers that can come over there and watch that. There's a lot of people that are afraid to speak up.
Yeah,
that are afraid to put their story out there to somebody like Jackass that came here, and they don't want it all over the place like ours kind of went. And I can understand that. We didn't expect things to be as loud as they were. We didn't know we were going to be dealing with such a flamboyant entity that was going to freaking. I didn't expect all that to happen. I didn't want to poke the bear. I just wanted to do something about it. And the moment I found out that there was nothing being done about it, all you were doing was poking the bear over and over and over and over.
That's the
Yeah.
poster child for mental health right there.
Yeah, I said he came into a one-horse town on a quarter horse with a flamboyant saddle.
Yeah, he wouldn't last a day around here.
I'm waiting for him.
There it
is.
is.
Guys, I really am.
Oh man, Chili be like,
the chief's office is that way.
You're not orange enough, Tim. You need to get a little bit more orange.
That way. We saw a picture, man. The dude's arm looked like it was like this big around. And Sarah was, wait, say again.
Today, in his last live, he took some of his teeth out. He's like, I'm real. I'm just letting everybody know how real I am. This is real. Like, okay. You taking your teeth out. Okay.
So,
I know, he's a show. He is a show.
Yeah,
if there's anybody in here with us tonight, we're going to leave the link up for just a little bit. Anybody in the chat, if there's questions or anybody have anything that they would like to add or put out there, I'm going to say one last time just for myself, and then I will turn it over to you guys. First of all, thank you all for being on here. I really appreciate it. Believe it or not, it does take guts to kind of step up and step out to do something against, basically you're targeted. And it takes a lot to stand up to that. And like you all said, if at the end of the day, you come out with nothing more than your pride and knowing that you stood up for yourself, that's enough for me. Yep. That's enough for me.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. If I'm not taking anymore, there's the last thing that happened to me. I'm not taking their shit no more. I'm done. Huh? But hey, I think in the county, how many prosecutors, how many attorneys, how many judges, how many people own rehabs in Ironton? So the drug addicts are just money making for them with their walking revenue. That's why they put drugs on the street. It's making them more money in their
every pocket. One of those beds filled is money in their pocket.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yes. And when that grant went through, they're the only people that got qualified to open rehabs. Pisses me off.
Well, let me pop a little something out there about Waldo here. He owns a bar, right? A sports bar grill type of thing. You know the place, Psychic Soul. You know what I'm talking about? What's the name of it?
Yep.
Used to be
Patties and Pints or Patties.
Yeah, sorry.
Is it?
Excuse me. Pints and Patties or Patties and Pints.
So that's where you can find Waldo.
Patties and Pints. No, we're not telling you where to go find Waldo.
No, I
get it. But there's some people that don't get the joke. So
oh, sorry, guys. Yeah, I didn't mean that.
Now we know.
That was a good one. But anyway, he owns this place.
Waldo is kids.
Right, but
yeah,
so he owns this place, right? And this place that he owns has they serve alcohol. The majority of the employees that work there were hired from rehab centers, and they're not supposed to be around alcohol. Mm-hmm. So this, they're employing these people. Wow. God knows how much they're paying. Who knows? Yeah. Like, let's find out. Let's get the info on this shit because there's something fishy going on there.
I mean, think about that.
You're putting addicts around temptation, and you're the ones telling them they can't be around it.
Psychosis, and a lot of these people are tripping out. Yeah, they don't have the right people in there. It makes me mad. My daughter has psychosis, and it's just hard. It's hard to deal with, and they don't have the right psychiatrists there. They don't have the right people in there. They go and get the drug thing for counseling. Hell, I can get that certificate in like 4 or 5 hours and do group therapy.
Get ordained while you're at it. Yeah. Then you can pray for them, lay hands on them, and tell them they're crazy all in one. Yeah.
Phoenix thought EDU.
I am working I've been ordained for
Like,
years.
in all honesty,
That's funny.
I think the best medicine I have found to help with sobriety and going down that road, and it has been your support system and those people encouraging you to do better. You don't need others to point out your flaws because you look in the mirror every single day. But that's a very rocky road, and it's hard. It's lonely at times, but it can happen. And just keep putting one foot in front of the other and taking one step at a time. If you're still struggling, know that you're loved and you are cared about. And that's pretty much my spill on that one.
You know what he tells me all the time? When you own your scars, you take the power away from them.
Yes,
Yep.
that's true. That's how I feel. I don't want anything to control me. Once I figured that out, it was go time.
Yeah.
Well, none of us do, and that's the thing. That's what with the cops, when you when you encounter an officer and you're showing the man respect because he's got this badge, he's got this United States flag on his arm, even though they got the freaking line on it that says they don't give a shit about it.
They're intimidating.
Some of the guys, that flag's supposed to mean something. You're supposed to honor anyone who wears it, man. And so you're changing it into your own little thing, and you want us to honor that shit? For all the guys in the military,
right?
Thanks
A
for
gang
your service.
flag.
But some of these dudes,
there's my American flag right there.
Yeah.
Yep.
I got
and you know how they get
red,
around
white,
doing
blue.
that? Yep. And you know how the cops get around doing that? They wrote like in fine print, it's not a desecration of the flag because it never was the real American flag to begin with. So that's why they don't get in trouble for doing it. How do you like that?
That is piss poor, man. That is piss poor.
Their own gang symbol.
I'm sure they'd arrest us for it, though.
You got all these people that, okay, so a lot of people have a problem with a lot of auditors and the way they do shit and the First Amendment thing. I see the need for it, right? But some of them do go overboard. And so because of this, the nitpickers, the ones that want a reason to hate these people, right, have their little reason. Right. And they're not, it's like a thing. There's this one side or the other. I myself see a need for it. And I also see a need for having respect for people that maybe they're not ready for this dude to come in with a camera. And you got to realize that, because I don't want somebody putting a camera in my face while I'm doing my daily thing. Like, that's rude. It's like the paparazzi, you know what I mean? Everybody hates the fucking paparazzi, but there's a need for it. And the reason behind it is what I think a lot of the haters don't understand is that there's a message behind it. And it is that you can do it because you're allowed to, and there's so many people telling you that you can't. It's just to prove a point. A lot of them just want to prove the point that it's your right. If you want to do this, it is your right to do it. Now watch this guy try to tell me I can't. Oops, didn't work. I'm still doing it.
Right.
That's the big thing. They don't. A lot of them dudes know they're not trying to be assholes or whatever. I know some really good auditing channels that I've been watching them for a couple years now. CYNTH, CHNTY, CHNTY audits. Yeah. Love that dude, man. Love their outlook on things, and they do the 1A audits, and they don't get as much smoke. But Chili tried to do that here, but he tried to do it on steroids, man, literally.
Yeah.
My thing is like
we were all hyped at first.
The post office doesn't.
Right.
I don't care about the post office.
When we saw Chili take the camera in and put it on Pam and call her out on her shit, and she stood right there and admitted that she threatened her on camera, we were like, yes, that's what needed to happen. Yeah. Now she's admitted it on camera. DPN, bless his heart, God rest his soul. DPN did a story on that, and he said, telling someone that they can be arrested for filing a false report while they're trying to file a report is in itself a threat. Like, I was like, yes. Yeah. And then Chili went in there picking fights with everybody at charity fights and shit like that. And one of them went through, and we were like, yes, right? We were rooting for that dude, man. Yeah. It's like
Yep.
Man, I think the whole thing that fucked him up was the fact that he didn't want to fight. And so he just
Oh,
went
yeah.
on this stupid thing trying to get the attention off of it, and it made him look stupider, and he just, we tried to
Best
tell
thing
him.
you can
and
do is
Yeah.
get all your ducks in a line, file your papers, because you don't need him to file papers. Because obviously he doesn't know how to file
Right.
a paper anyway. I mean, it's the court's fault. Chili has Asperger's now or something. So the court has to take leniency on him.
That's a good one.
I can't believe he said that today. I cannot believe he said that. have Asperger's.
I got a big ass
I missed it.
He did.
I missed it.
Yep, that's why the
Thank
court
God.
should look at his thing. It's not his fault. And he wants to question the IT guys at the courthouse.
Oh,
wow.
He's a loser.
Yeah.
Man.
Fuck Asperger's. I hope he gets Lou Gehrig's.
So did you guys ever find?
He always wanted to be a Yankee.
We don't want nothing bad to happen to nobody. I am pissed at the guy. I'm pissed at him.
All in love.
Right.
We don't either. Just
You know,
for the simple fact that who will we have to laugh at on YouTube if he goes away? I mean, everything I read, and then he's the scholar,
Right.
not me.
It's comedy.
Scholar. Oh,
Yeah,
he is.
maybe
He's
he
probably
should
gold.
go the comedic direction with this panel.
Professor, the auditor.
I'm surprised he
Look,
doesn't
listen.
misspell his name.
Listen to this though. Chili telling people to stop making videos about him is just as effective as the cops telling people to stop recording them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there you go.
Right.
It's gonna make it worse.
We're auditing Chili. That's
Yeah.
what all these troll channels are doing. They're doing audits.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's tyrannical behavior. It's saying I can do whatever the fuck I want, but you can't do that whenever it's, it's tyrannical behavior.
They're
it is what it is.
audits, asshole
Yes.
audits.
They see how he is. He sets the ground rules. I'm going to act this way, but you cannot. I'm going to like this cop, but you cannot. Yeah, he's nuts. Hey, did you guys ever find the complaint form today? You're crazy. You're crazy. Answer me.
He can't
did you
even
ever find
read,
the
and he's talking about
complaint
federal
form in
lawsuits.
Lawrence County? I know.
Listening to him read, I'm like, yeah, no. But yeah, we're
I
gonna
didn't
do
want
part
this to
two
be-
on our filing
Into
civil
that.
rights lawsuits tomorrow. So we're gonna talk about them, the defendant filing their answer to the lawsuit, and then two, also when you're writing out your lawsuit, we're also going to talk about like what things you can go after monetary reward for, like what different things you can write on your statement that you can go after and get more money for. So, because I thought about it, and I'm like, you really need to know what you want to write to put down there that you want compensated for. So.
This
That's
is
what's-
why I like your guys' channel. This is why we tuned into y'all, because these guys right here, us versus them. What's the three letters behind that again? I can't.
PGH, Pittsburgh.
PGH. That stands okay.
Cool.
Stands for Pittsburgh. So us versus them. PGH.
So, DJ.
They're actually trying to help people, actually do something about something.
File suits on these cops.
We're teaching people how to file your own suits here, and file your complaints and what to ask for and how you can get what information. And they're teaching people this, and this is what we've been needing, this whole time. Like, not somebody that's going to put it on their store and then charge you money for the free documents. So you can go get a fucking police station. You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah. Yes, I do. I'm going to make a
We're going to sell some
That's
FOIA
cool.
requests.
trifold, but I'm going to call it a quad fold. Open up a store.
I love it.
We're going to make flyers. We're going to make some flyers and we're going to put them out. And it's going to, it's going to have your basic rights and which ones are most of the time violated, especially like in traffic stops and just walking down the sidewalk and what have you. Just your everyday encounter with a cop that you didn't expect.
Yeah, people just need to understand that nobody is better than you. We're all stuck here on this earth together. So why be hateful towards someone else? why get joy out of someone else's misery?
Tell them what they said at the gym. Listen to what she was
So
cleaning at a.
Okay,
Tell them.
I was cleaning at the gym, and I was like, they got like one part of the gym in the back is for like all the abs and all the stuff like that, and then of course the other side of the wall is where the guys stand in the mirror and watch themselves flex and all this stuff. Well, there were some officers in there. The one I recognized. Anyways, I heard him say, "Hey man, have you got your first arrest yet?" And the guy was like, "No, man, not." It's like, "Oh, just wait, it's so fun." I mean, like literally, I scoffed out loud. I was like, "What? Like, did he really just say that? It's fun."
They saw her and they got all quiet.
Yeah. So the one guy, I hear him going, "It's that chick." Like, I mean, dude. Wow.
I just wish that siren, like the purge, would go off, but it's like purging police officers, Could you imagine? Like, everybody would get along for that whole 24 hours.
Yeah.
Everybody would be friends.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. The police purge.
Yeah. After the night when morning would come, everybody would be in arms together like this, singing songs and shit, happy. Yeah, fuck the police.
That movie,
thank God.
Us, the movie Us, where they did that thing about the Oprah thing, where they was trying to hold hands around the country and shit like that.
They'd all do that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
At least 52% of us would.
Yeah, right. It would just be our parents.
Yeah.
It's that generation.
Yeah.
What about, like I'm saying, what about actually getting some better, more qualified, higher IQ, some real, like, teach our kids. But the thing is if you teach your kids the right thing and then you tell them, okay, now go be a cop and make sure you do the right thing, right? You can almost guarantee that they'll be corrupted in the midst of that somewhere. They'll go in with the right intentions and then they'll be corrupted. It's like, I wouldn't tell my kid to become a cop, even if it was to try to change it
to
for the
live
better.
and take care of yourself. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. I agree.
No, it's sad when we have to tell our 5-year-old granddaughter.
You need to make sure on your
We,
flyer.
I don't know if
on your
defunding
flyer,
is
make
like,
sure to say that. Yeah, but make sure on your flyer to say that. Always remember, if you're being pulled over, that they are people too. Just because they have a costume on does not make them any different than you. So don't be intimidated, because they try to intimidate you and make you
Blue
think
lives
that
matter.
Yeah.
And they're not. They're not.
The problem is that it already does make them. It gives them authority over you, though, in a situation. Problem is they create these situations with the intention of having authority over you. That's their number one. That's what they eat up.
Here's another piece of tidbit of statistic for you. 4% of policing involves violent crime. The rest of it is them bullshitting around, pulling people over for their cars or just bothering people. 4% is violent crime.
Yeah.
But they need more funding. We need more police officers because there's tons of criminals out.
Yeah,
smarter.
We need to fill them in the schools
better
so we
trained.
can prepare them for prison.
Yeah.
And
better
also,
trained.
They need more tanks, some more bulletproof vests and hard helmets and all that bullshit.
Can I tell you something? They wouldn't need all that artillery and all that crap if they would teach them better. If they would. If they themselves were better, they wouldn't need all the accessories.
Yeah.
What would help too if the majority of them are so 600 pounds and it looks like a sports bra on them. Like, so then they have to do something else because their gut's sticking out and shoot you in the gut. Like, take your sports bra off.
Man, before you know it, I'm telling you now, it's going to be like
because they can't run after you.
You made long, it's going to be like, oh shit, he's got a gut. Okay. Before too long.
Yeah. But look,
when you get pulled over and they see a gun in the car or something, they're going to say, bring RoboCop in. And they're just going to step back and let the fucking robot do it. And you think that nigga's going to have any compassion?
Well, that's why we need the 360 camera with the wiggle worms and the school bus to come pick up the bad guys and alternate policing. Okay, Chili.
Right.
I mean, they've all but implemented AI and robots into the situation. Like they're militarizing this shit. It's like,
Yeah.
did you guys
And-
see during the thing where I think it was the George Floyd thing, the Black Lives Matter, all that crap started, and they were rioting in like I think Chicago or Minnesota, it was Minnesota, I think, and there were a bunch of cops and they were corralling citizens together, like doing these war tactics, and the chief or whoever was in charge, the superior officer, tells them, light them up. If they take a step forward, light them up. They had rubber bullets, but they were practicing like actual war tactics on civilians. And these were civilians that were trying to guard their stores and whatnot, what have you, just shoot. I mean, bah, bah, bah. It said anything that moves, hit them with it. Like, dude, this shit's on YouTube. You can watch it. It's on there. They're just like, dudes, like, anything that moves.
Time for us.
I respect our military. I respect that uniform. I respect those branches. I respect what those men and women do for this country. I do not respect police officers. You are not a soldier. You are not fighting for our country. You are not fighting for our rights. You're taking them.
Yep.
Like the fire department, they don't drive around in their fire trucks looking for a fire. EMTs don't drive around in their ambulance looking for a fucking accident. What are these guys doing? They're creating problems where there are none. That's like the fire department going out in their fire truck and throwing a Molotov cocktail in somebody's yard or somebody's house. And we was born, we didn't have nothing to do. We need some more funding. I'm sick of standing on that corner with them dumbass boots.
If they would,
I want to say something, guys. I want to say something real quick. So with this channel, this is what I want, and this is my overall goal, because I don't want to be like, to encourage people that, fucking go out and hate people or whatever.
Right.
But there's got to be a way, there's got to be a fucking, some way people come together in some kind of agreement on both sides of this bullshit and be like, let's change it. Let's make these cops better cops so these people can stop hating them. Or let's teach these cops better, which we've been trying to do. The auditors are trying. They're doing what they can. They're trying to humble the cops and get them to where they know that they just don't have the right to do what the fuck they want. But we can't do it on a large enough scale for them to get it, because we'd be
not until qualified immunity's gone.
Right.
And not until somebody finally tells them that they're no better than us, that their life is not more valuable than ours, that they're not a better person or have a better, status in life because they wear a uniform. That's the big thing.
I want it to be like, I want it to be like Chad Goo. I've spoke to Chad Goo on YouTube. He's not a hard guy to talk to. He's a cop. He's a captain. I want to be like, I want that guy to feel welcome to come on my channel and have a civil conversation with me and not feel like he's going to get beat up by a bunch of people that hate cops. Like, see, there's a way that we can bridge a real divide here. Like, there's people that are trying to do it, but they're letting go of their core beliefs to do it. Like, because they're turning into these people that say cops don't do nothing wrong. And it's just, we know they do. We watch them do it. I've got them. I'm going to keep recording every interaction I have, and hope to God I don't ever have one that I feel worthy of putting out on YouTube again, because that's not what we wanted. We didn't put cameras in our car and go around and look for the cops to pull us over. We did it because we knew they were going to fucking pull us over, and that's a scary thought. You're being targeted by a bunch of guys that are allowed to shoot you and make an excuse about it.
I would respect a cop that actually came on and admitted that what we are saying is truth, but they won't. They'll say, one bad apple. No, you need to own what your brothers and sisters in blue are doing to people, but you won't. You have your reason.
Well, Chili was right about that thing. He did a video. He was right. He said that, Chad knew about the shit. I never disputed that he did. I know that he did. The chief also knew, because they have to every day when they pull whoever over, they come back, they view the body camera footage. They all know what happens every day. It doesn't get past the superiors.
Yep.
If you have an incident today, superiors are going to be watching to make sure you didn't do nothing stupid. Problem is, they're trying to cover them up.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, you're on YouTube and you're like this big good guy and everybody loves you, but you help somebody cover up some dirty shit that we watched blatantly happen. Now, you can say what you want, man. There was no reason. Here's my thing. People get on here and they scrutinize us because they're like, Well, if you had just didn't have a tint on your tag, or if you had used your turn signal when, first of all, that was a lie. I used my turn signal way before he said I did, and that was the fact. He wasn't even behind us.
Wait. Yeah.
But up till that point, what was the reason that as soon as he saw our car, that he followed us around, dipped around between blocks, and made sure to get right behind us? He had that plan the whole time. So up till that point, the turn signal shit, whatever he pulled me over for, whatever reason he found, is irrelevant. Why the fuck was he following me?
Yes.
You want me to answer that for you?
There's your malicious
Because he
intent right there.
can. Because he can
Yeah,
get away
exactly.
with it. Because they can do
But
whatever
why
they
was
want.
he doing it?
Yep.
What was going on up here that he
wanted to
saw
fuck
our
with
car
you.
and didn't
Because he can.
see?
Yeah.
He couldn't see the tag yet because he had just passed us. He saw that car and he was like, I'm finding me a reason. We're going to get him pulled over. We're going to make something out of nothing. And he was on camera.
Yep,
He knew
they
he
get
was
away
on
with it.
camera, man. Dude was like, fuck it. I'm doing it anyway.
Yeah.
That's something else. Well, guys,
And then the
we've
footage
got
goes,
to check out of here.
Yeah, we're gonna check
Hey,
out,
guys.
guys. I gotta get up at 4 a.m. That morning comes
right on.
early.
And the baby, we had her for 3
It's going to
days.
be an
She wore
early
us
stream
out.
anyway. We've got, we only wanted to go for about an hour tonight just to get.
Well, it
We
means a
wanted
lot
everybody
to
to
us
meet
that
you
you
guys.
asked us on. So,
Yeah.
Right.
and Psychic, it's so funny because I caught your show today. It just popped up in my list of randoms, and I saw your thing, and you had Beth Rist on. So I clicked on it. I had never seen one of your shows before, and then they're like, "Oh, we're having her on." I'm like, I was meant to see that today. So I just wanted to tell you that I saw you today.
Cool.
Mhm.
I'm gonna go to your channel. Thank you.
Oh, good. We
I'm
have a
gonna go
live
to your channel.
scheduled for
Hey,
tomorrow.
before we go though,
If one of my
Cool.
moderators would want to
TJ,
put
I got
link
to
for Psychic
know.
Soul Census.
Cool.
We lost
Thank
you,
you.
Psychic.
TJ,
Yeah.
where do you complain for cops in Lawrence County? Where do you go to file a complaint in Lawrence County?
You take it to the department you're complaining on.
But where do you get the complaint form?
You can get them
Oh,
online.
you can get them online. You can get them online. Go to the sheriff's department. They have complaint
You
forms.
can
They're written
now?
out from the sheriff's department. Yeah, well, they gave them to us,
Cool.
but they were on cameras.
Cool.
Take
If
your
you do it
camera record.
online, Psychic, you can keep it anonymous if you want to. But if you go in, then, first they'll tell you have to sign it, which you don't, but they'll tell you they need your ID, you have to sign it, they need a phone number.
Yeah.
And I always tell them my name is
they want to
Jessica
run
Simpson.
you, and that way they can arrest you. Yeah.
Yeah.
I just, my voice is a little scratchy, but I'm Jessica Simpson.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice to meet
All right,
you,
guys.
Jessica, and I'm Krista.
Thank you so much for
Yeah.
having us on.
Yeah.
We certainly appreciate you guys. Thank you.
Call
Hopefully
me,
we
Sarah.
see you.
Yeah.
Hopefully we see you
Love
guys
you
tomorrow.
guys.
We'll do
Alright.
part 2.
Nice meeting you. Thank you, everybody that
Yeah,
came.
yeah, yeah.
And, just
All
babble.
right. I'll
You
see
guys
you
are cared
tomorrow.
for. You're special,
We gotta do-
important. No one has told you yet today. Just know that I love you. Have a good night, guys.
Hey guys, just so you know, we got to work
Dude.
tomorrow. We got to DoorDash and make up for today. I don't know. I think Psychic. I think that your camera's got a slight delay in it, so it seems like we're interrupting each other, but we're not. She's got a delay here.
I know. I caught it. It's all right.
We love you.
We'll say
I
break
love
the
you
1944.
Love you guys too. Have a good
Yeah.
night.
All right, guys.
See ya.
Later.
I was trying to tell them that we were going to be working tomorrow, so I don't know what time.
Bye. Thank you, guys.
So, guys, look, I'm going to put up a couple of links for you guys. I'm going to have.
Hey, both of our little skeletons got the whole Captain Morgan stance on.
It's cool.
Guys in the stream, thank you for coming, hanging out.
Give me a minute. Sweetie.
Let me see. Dave, that was a mushy time.
Give me a PGH. There you go. To Shanta, I just put that in the chat for you. if you want to drop those 2 links, I'll put them up on the screen, and you guys can check out both of those channels. So, you know, there's a lot of people out there that have this just disdain for police. It's, you know, it's all police, and that's sad. To me, that's a sad thing that just kids are growing up automatically, you know, convinced that cops are, you know, good, and because their parents have been slammed to the ground in front of them and what happens or whatever. They're not all bad. I think I've had some good interactions with police. I haven't had many good interactions with police, but that's why I'm good friends with Beth Risk. No matter what anybody says about the woman, I know her. I've met her in person. I'm always honest about people. I don't judge people, but I don't associate with people that I don't feel are good people. Neither one of us do. We stay to ourselves mostly. We have some really good friends. The ones that we have, really good friends, dependable, and we know when they tell us something, we can take it to the bank. They're not going to lie to us, even if it hurts our feelings. We're the same way. We're going to tell you how it is. Sorry, I don't sugarcoat a lot. I've been very outspoken on YouTube, and I apologize to the couple people that I've done that to. But you know, and nobody is obligated to answer questions for you. But obviously, I've got some questions that I want answered, and we, you know, we have questions that we want answered. We have definite. We got some things to do. We got to get busy because we're not letting them get away with it. That's just all it is.
We hope you guys stick around.
I'm not out to take anybody's job or
for the whole journey.
We are owed compensation. I believe that. And,
it's been difficult, financially, emotionally. Like we've said before, just stand up for yourself.
I'm gonna put the link up for.
Things are hard enough as it is without putting each other down and letting others bring you down. So, you know, you never know what somebody's going through. So one kind word, one smile, one nod at somebody, you never know. You could be saving a life. Just that simple notion.
Thank you to Shanta very much. So yeah, guys, that's it. You know, I got friends in this thing that are, you know, they have their opinions. I have mine. We don't agree on everything, but we can still talk civilly and friendly, and we got a lot in common despite the differences. I'm not going to, you know, I'm not getting in the middle of anybody's YouTube banter or beef. If you've got a problem with somebody, that's your problem with them. If we share the same problem with the same person, I'm still not going to gang up with you to go after that person. I speak for myself. And, you know, when I say chili this or chili that, I'm speaking for myself. I'm not joining in on some kind of a hate wagon. I'm telling the truth. And, you know, the things that dude said to me in the comments the night when I called him out on his BS, dude, that's wrong. He thinks he's slick, and he's gonna go down smoking if he doesn't stop acting the way he's acting. Stop lying to people. You know, his shit's coming up left and right about the money that he's raised. Yeah, so I spoke on that, and that's it. But you guys go over to Psychic Soul Senses and go over to Us versus Them PGH. They've got a lot of information, helpful information. You know, if you feel like your back's against the wall and you don't want to be afraid of the retaliation or whatever, you can go there. They can explain to you exactly what to do. You can be anonymous with it if you want. And like they said, you know, give them an intent to sue, and they'll leave you the frick alone.
We love you guys again. Thank you for coming. And hopefully we will see you on the next one.